What's up, everybody? This is BakaBites. I'm Frankfurter, that is Magically Average, and today we are doing our episode 1 reviews for the spring 2026 anime season. You, sir, have got about, 18 shows under your belt tonight
Seven,
that you've got to
17.
discuss? Close enough.
17,
17. And I've got a whopping 31.
which we are not
But
discussing all of them. Not to be
no,
the bearer of bad news, but
I will blow through a bunch of them, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be starting to blow through them because you have the lowest score of the season compared to me. So I'm going to have you start there.
I'm gonna be honest, I was
I know it'll
pretty critical of this season compared to you. I'm not gonna lie.
probably. I
So
mean, when is that ever like that? I feel like that's a no-brainer thing. You're more critical about these things than I am. I'm just like, ooh, this is pretty fun. 7
it's
out of 10.
I'm not gonna fight you there. I'll let you have that one. Yeah, so I watched this purely because I couldn't believe it got animated because I had read most of the manga online and I was like, this is just pure horniness. This is like the slop that you read when you had a long day and you're just like, leave me alone. I'm gonna go read my ecchi ridiculous bullshit and just for some semblance of peace and niceties in this world. Uh and then I got animated and I was like, all right, fuck it, let's try it. And that's Yawa Sensei. It's just like every stupid, dumb, cliche thing that could happen to the short, big boobied teacher of all characters happens. And of course, it's the one student that's like, I'm going to try to blend in and be the average person and not stand out. And oh my gosh, I stumbled in on the teacher practicing and whoa, she took her shirt off and she's just in her bra and oh my gosh, well, oh, she tripped on a chair and she fell on me and then whoa, 10 seconds later trips on the same, no joke, trips on the same chair and falls the other direction on me. Whoa, who would have thought? I like every like it's the epitome of they they know exactly who's going to be watching this, like, and how to bring them in. There was no like ease into, hey, this is just gonna be pure horniness. It was like like 5 minutes in, you're like, oh, it's gonna be one of those shows. Okay, I got it.
It's the I can't believe it's not hentai. But
I
semi is hentai.
if I remember, is shocking to know on this one's on High Dive. If I remember correctly too, I
Yeah.
think there's it's one of those ones that has like there's 3 different versions. There's the normal, the Yawa Yawa, and the Ultra Supreme Mega Yawa Yawa Sensei version. I'm pretty sure that's the case. But yeah, I gave this a 3. It's just because I was like, no, there's no substance to it. I read it because I was like, you know what? It does eventually get slightly wholesome, but there's no getting past the pure amounts of horny, etchy, just straight ridiculousness that is the Yawa Yawa Sensei. But seeing it animated, I'm like, no, I can't. I can't do this when it's actually like shown on screen. That's too much.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like reading Playboy for the articles and then being like, whoa, I can't. I'm not gonna watch porn though. That's too much. I don't want to stick to these articles here.
Naked people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, disgusting.
How'd you get in my articles?
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, no, I did not watch this one. I said I'd give it an episode, and I didn't have the time.
Yeah,
I
you
knew
don't
it
have
was gonna
to.
be bad, so
I reported
didn't.
back, Chief. The
Much
message.
appreciated.
The relay message is don't.
Fair. I will go through a couple quick ones that are at the bottom of my list. One which I thought you had watched, and then you corrected me. You're like, no, my wife was watching. How did you know that my wife was watching this?
Oh.
Only to realize that your Crunchyroll account was
Yeah,
tied to your
yeah.
Discord.
Whatever.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm home. I give this a 5. I said nothing inherently good, but nothing bad either. Like it's fine. It wasn't funny. It wasn't wholesome. It wasn't horny. It wasn't like, it was just fine. Like it was just there.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good.
I guess
So
real quick too for newbies for ranking purposes, if you're hearing these rankings and being like, wow, they're really
Ah,
low, just know like 4 and down are just like bad. Like just purely bad. Like we
just
had to rank them individually number wise, but we could just basically group 1 through 4 as bad. Like don't watch.
4 is bad, 3 is really bad, 2 is you would have to pay me a large sum to watch this again, and then 1 is a never in a million years will I ever watch this again.
Yeah.
5 is
5.
completely average,
Yep.
6 is fine, like, it's between average and but, like, below good, 7 is good, 8 is great, 9 is excellent, and then 10 is, like, perfect. Other than, like, nitpicks, the show is flawless, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So just so you're aware, like if it's a 5, it doesn't mean like it's terrible. It's a middling kind of show.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing
It's
inherently good about it. There's nothing inherently bad about it. It's a whatever type of
it's
show.
just there.
Yep.
It's just there. So yeah, I gave that a 5, and then also another 5 on my list. Reborn as a Vending Machine season 3. It's if you've watched the first 2 seasons, it's more of the same, and it's the final season, unfortunately for me, because this is one of those comfort shows, in my
Womp womp.
opinion, that I just love to put on. Like, this is so absurd, and then just move on with my life. But yeah, no, it's those are my 5s. You and I have also agreed on a 5, so let's just hop into that one real quick. The Food Diary of Miss Maid. In
Yeah.
my opinion, I just said it's another cute girl does cute things series, but with no real like uniqueness outside that the main character is a maid.
Yeah, I mean
That's about it.
this one's in line with the series that I watch where it's like the traveling around Japan ones. And
Yeah.
but except this one's about snacks and sweets. But it's like street food more than anything.
Yeah.
So like the first episode is the maid going and eating taiyaki, takoyaki, like convenience store onigiri, and then something that I had never heard of. I think it's some like layered cake of some kind or layered pastry. Um, but the premise is ridiculous. It's like I believe she was born in Japan, but then early on moved to the UK. So she didn't
Became a
actually like,
maid.
yeah, became a maid in the UK, and then was coming back to Japan for a vacation and got a phone call from her. They're called masters, but
Employer.
yes, we'll call it an employer for sake of not sounding creepy. Their employer called and was like, "Hey, yo, might as well just extend that trip to Japan. The rooftop pool we were gonna install caused our mansion to collapse."
Who would have thunk?
And I'm like, you have some of the worst architects known to man if your mansion collapsed in the process of building your rooftop pool,
Like, you
for
would presume that the
starters.
water wasn't even put in.
Yes, exactly. So,
But
but like that the whole premise is like she hadn't been back in many years, and so it was her first time like getting to experience all these foods that you would think at even a young age you would get to experience, but maybe
yeah,
lifestyle choice, whatever.
takoyaki, dango, who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh
But
yeah, she had dango
yeah,
too. Yeah. But it was meh. It was
it
yeah.
was
There was
fine.
nothing much to
There
it.
was nothing bad about it. There was nothing really good about it. It was just there. So
Yeah.
it was a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
You've got a couple other 5s, so I'm
I'll
going to let you talk about them, and I will kind of give my input on those as well.
yeah. I'll talk about the two that you did not watch, I believe. So one of them is Curio Fan Club. This
Right.
one, same as Yaoi Yaoi Sensei, is on High Dive. Not horny though. So they do pick a couple of not horny series. So kudos to High Dive. Um, my thoughts on it are that I'm purely just conflicted because this is a stalker anime through and
Right.
through. It's a stalker anime. Like it's two girls who treat one of their classmates as if he's like an idol or a god or some like celebrity, and they like like spy on him, copy his mannerisms, like have all these fantasies about him, but never really interact with him. And then there's like this charming, but there's a charming element to it. Like one of the characters themselves are to a degree irredeemable because they're just like, I don't know. I feel like they're corrupted to some degree by their infatuation with this very bland character that we're shown at the end. Um, but then they add like this twist element to the end where like there potentially could be a different love interest there that's not with this particular Kirio character that we meet. And it's like, ooh, okay, you might get me. So I'm like, I'm purely conflicted because I acknowledge it's a creepy stalker anime, and on the other side, I'm like, but like there's something wholesome and cherishable about these characters, even though they are little freaks. So it's like,
Yeah.
ah. So I gave it a 5.5, where I'm like, I can't say that it's good, but it's also not bad. I'm like,
Like,
I'm
it's
so
not
torn.
average. Like, there's something here, but
Yeah,
it's also just like,
that's
I
that's
don't
why
want there to be something there.
that's why it purely wasn't just a straight 5. I'm like, I almost gave it a 6 as like fine, but I'm like, it's so weird. Like, it's one of those series where you don't know, you wouldn't be able to recommend it to someone, not because it's horny or it's like aggressively mature or anything. It's just like, I don't know if you're like who the audience is for this. Like, I don't know. Because you
Yeah.
like people like if anyone watched Tamon's B-side, the main character treats Tamon, the idol, as like the supreme god, and like that's why she's conflicted with her emotions on like I can't like him because I admire him and he's like such a higher being, right? But he's an idol. These two high school girls just treat their fellow classmate, who again is a bland wet noodle that we get to meet, as if he's like the walking incarnation of some deity, which is weird. It's just like I'm like, so. But again, this is something. There's something there. There is something there. So I gave it a 5.5. And then the other one, my ridiculous reincarnation.
So I watched that
Oh, did
this
you?
afternoon. Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. I never because originally I didn't see it on your list. I gave it a five and a
Yeah.
half.
I
Uh,
gave it a 7.5.
So, okay, so again, let me explain. My 5.5 is because I was like, why do I like this series? It's chaos incarnate. It makes no sense. There's a constant level of perviness to it, but like I found myself smirking throughout because the witty back and forths in dialogue, the overall just supreme ridiculousness that is this series, on top of the fact that I shouldn't like it as an isekai, but it adds like this whole new perspective on what the isekai genre can be like. I found myself finding this series really charming, but it wasn't good. It's still like it wasn't like that good. It was just over the top ridiculousness that made it like, entertaining enough to watch, but it still wasn't good. That's why I was like 5.5, I think is appropriate. Because I wouldn't characterize it as fine, but it's certainly not bad because it gives again a new idea or perspective on what an isekai could be. Because spoiler alert, it's called my ridiculous reincarnation. His first reincarnation is as the rib of a hero, which results in a fucking chaotic event that takes place afterwards, which
Yeah.
you should just go watch
I
it.
so my take on this was a 7.5 because like my quote here is absurdist doesn't begin to describe what I just watched. It was an isekai fever dream in the best possible way. I can't wait to watch the shit out of this show. Um
But see, like
Isekais, but there's like power fantasy isekais that are just slop and slop and slop. This is on the other hand slop in the sense of just like this is so ridiculous that it is refreshing for the genre and just a breath of fresh air that I'm very
yeah,
happy with it. Like I'm this is along the lines of like reincarnated as a vending machine. It'll be a 5 out of 10 by the end of the day
I
at the end of the day, but like the first episode was so different and so new and so unique, especially with the clashing art styles, the like popping colors and
oh
just
yeah,
again the absurdism of everything that I was just like, no, I enjoyed the shit out of this. I think that this was one of those shows that brought me more joy than a majority of everything else that I watched.
I
But is it good? No, but it definitely is on my radar
I
now.
mean, you put it at a 7.5, my guy. Based on our ranking, that is good. That's a
You're right.
good.
It is it's a again, it is good in the sense that I think it's a good breath of fresh air for
I
a very stagnant genre.
so I think the reason why I gave it a 5.5, I will say too, because I certainly could have found myself giving it closer to 7. I think the issue is that like you see the writing on the wall. There's no story. There's no plot. Every episode is just going to be a new reincarnation of some
Yeah,
kind with
it's
its own self-contained
reincarnation
story.
of the week.
Yeah. But that doesn't give me anything. That does it gives me a nice chuckle, haha, during the week. But there's no like satisfaction of wow, this was a really engaging tale, or I really found myself like
That's why you
attached.
keep watching and you wonder if
But
other
that's
gods are gonna
so.
get in on it and give them like a shortcut in
So I
line to
started at
different
a
things.
5.5. It can only go up. There's no way I can
Oh, for
find
me, I
myself
can
go
only go down.
right, which I don't want to do that for a series. I'd rather go look. Your first episode, albeit entertaining, it was a level of absurdness that I had never witnessed before in any sort of medium, but there's not a lot of substance there, right?
Yeah.
The formula is written out, and now you just get to see it done over and over and over again. Will it be fresh? Will it be fun? Maybe. Is there going to be much there in the end of the game, like at the end of it all? Probably not. 5.5 is fair, but I think it could go as high as, we'll say, a 6.5. I can't see myself giving it a 7.
You can't see yourself saying this
No,
is a good show.
no, there's no way, no way.
All right. Let's
Um,
move on to the next one.
yeah, I think I have
Because you've
two.
got a couple other fives still that are on your list that
I
I've
know, but
watched.
they're pretty high for you, so I was gonna let you
No, they're
cover.
about the same. They're about the same. So I've got 31
Mm.
shows. Like I got a bunch
All
of
right, all
sixes and
right, all
sevens
right, all
to
right.
cover. So let's just get into it.
Another 5. So 5 for me, not a 5.5. A 5 was I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class.
Yeah. Okay.
That one I found boring, frustrating, and bland. Didn't really make any impact whatsoever. Um, like I hate when series present an MC as like, this is an MC that has no friends, doesn't have any social skills, blah blah blah, and then like in an instant is able to talk with a stranger and like be fine and invite them
Maybe
over
he's
to their
more
house.
nervous than anything. I don't know
Nope.
if he's
Nope.
necessarily.
Nope. Because there's
But
literally a
anyways,
moment in the first episode where he's inner monologuing, being like, I mean, I really wish I had friends, but I'm just better off alone. I never try. There's even a scene where he's like, hey, mom, I'm going out next weekend with my friend. And she's like, can you repeat yourself? You have a friend? Are you being mugged? Are you being blackmailed? You have a friend? You made a friend? Like, but that's after 3 straight weeks of him talking with her and hanging out with, like, this motherfucker went from no social interaction with classmates or anyone whatsoever to I have a girl coming over to my house every Friday after school to just play video games and chug a pop and smash a pizza. Like, no, that was terrible writing. And then I added like the first episode ends with the cliffhanger, and I'm like, oh, a cliffhanger! Oh my god, what's gonna happen? No one cares. It was so just cliche bullshit. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's whatever. This is like what I would characterize as being like if you want a like if you want a romance where you're just like edging yourself every episode, just watch this one. Because I'll tell you what, there's much better romance series this season than this.
I was gonna say there's also much worse romance series
Oh,
than
well,
this
yeah, that
season.
too. But yeah,
It's just.
but no, I did not enjoy it. It's a
See,
5.
I'm on the other hand. I enjoyed it. I said cute characters and a solid comedy to boot. Like I enjoyed the comedic bits to it. Like all
Comedy?
the like yeah, like all the fucking movie parodies that they bring up. I enjoyed that bit. That's a really good bit.
They
I
have to
said
do
cute.
that because they'll get sued for actually showing the actual movie, you dip.
Oh my god, whatever. It's still funny. My final note here is said seems like a very low risk on the drama and high on the good times. Like it's a good vibe show. Like that's how I interpreted it. I'm enjoying it. I've
We
watched the
watched
first 2
we
episodes
watched
that came out.
wildly different shows because literally the
Also,
first. I don't care. I'm going to spoil it. The first
I was gonna
episode
say
ends with the girl that he's been hanging out with. They're like, oh my gosh, do you see? She's getting confessed to. That's what literally the cliffhanger is. You're saying that's not drama? They're not trying to bake in some little like, oh man, what's going to happen? Is he going to lose his
mean,
only friend?
no, they present it in such a low risk fashion of just like you know what's gonna happen.
It's a cliffhanger. It's not supposed to be. Oh my god. I feel like you're agreeing
Anyways,
with my assessment of it, but giving it a 7, which is wild to me.
no, I enjoyed it compared to you. You thought it was boring. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it for the reasons of you thought it was comedic that they had the little like references to other movies and that it's low risk, high fun. That was your only two
Yeah,
comments on it. Bunch
yeah.
of
Who wouldn't want to watch a movie
non-bow
on fucking
bullshit.
piranha sharks? Who wouldn't
I'm
want
not
to watch
saying
a
I
movie
wouldn't
on
watch that,
piranha
but I
sharks?
didn't look at it and go, ha ha ha, funny. It is a reference to something I know. like you did, fucking drooling, just clapping your hands. Jesus.
Drew, you can kill him. You're closer. Anyways, next up, I assume you're gonna talk about Snowball Earth.
Yeah, Snowball Earth is I give it a 5.5. Look, it's fine. It's another one of those series with a frustrating MC and a so-so story to boot. I thought it was set up pretty poorly and the twist was a little bit lackluster. Also, it's one of those series where everyone on Earth is just a fucking moron. Like,
In what regard? Like expand
okay,
on that
so
because that
so the premise of the series and this all happens in the first like 10 minutes, so come at me, I guess. Kaiju, intergalactic kaiju starts spawning on Earth. Okay, that's cool, great. Humanity's coming to an end, presumably. A scientist makes up this robot that's effectively a bomb. Now, granted, the timeline is really piss poor on like how these events take place. Like when the kaiju start appearing to what happened in between, like what actions were taking place. There was a new federation established to try to eradicate them. So that's been created. But between the first instance of a kaiju and this crazy scientist making a bomb robot that's basically just this giant, like, also sentient robot that knows it's a bomb and its only purpose is to lure the kaiju off and then explode, which why would you make that? Why would you add in an AI component where it knows it is alive and its purpose is to lure creatures away and then implode itself, destroying everything there? Okay. Only to have this, so the scientist is like, I made this thing, and then they're like, sir, your son jumped in it, and he's like, oh, only a genius can do it, he's 9, what the shit does he know? And then his son flies away, he's like, oh my god, my son must be a genius! Literally, that's his words. He literally says the words, I guess my son's a genius! And his son, like, pilots it. All his son does is read a manual. So someone wrote a manual for this robot, that they're like, no one can pilot. It's impossible. 9-year-old goes in, reads a manual, is like, I got this. And dad's like, oh. The kid defeats a kaiju, and everyone just goes, he's our savior. Yay! Everyone clap. Savior, savior, savior. So since this kid was 9, they only refer to him as savior. He's like passing people in a hallway. And they're like, what's good looking, savior? How's it hanging, savior? And I'm like, everyone on Earth is just like, yeah,
every fucking interaction.
Yeah, and that's why he's frustrating because like anytime someone talks to him, he's just like, oh, and he's like, because ever since he's like, for 10 years I've been operating this robot to defeat kaiju, and I was like, you had like formative years as well between the age of like 3 and 9. What happened then? Well, I was like, whatever. Like your backstory aside, you're an annoying MC. And then the twist end is that, I mean, the name should give it away of the series. There's a little bit of a red herring in that the robot is named Snowball or Snow, I think, because the son names it Yukio. Comes back to Earth because they have this big mission. Comes back to Earth, and wouldn't you know it? After a certain amount of years, Earth is now iced over. How did that happen? Who knows? We'll find out next time on Intergalactic Kaiju Snowball Fighting Monster Savior Boy.
Neat.
I don't know. Like everything about it was just like, it was whatever.
I gave it a 7 out of 10. I said this is a solid start to a mecha comedy. Looks like it'll get a simuldub, so I'll just continue down that route of like a dub. Yeah, like the first episode, I wasn't as like, I didn't. how the fucking main character, reacts to everything in just such a just like fucking shit my
I
pants in every direction type
I
of way.
really like this is a one situation. You know how they always tell you like live a day in someone's shoes. Like you don't really know what they're going through. You need to live a day in someone's shoes. I really wish I could switch like minds with you because
I'm
I feel like
also
it's set
I
like I feel like your mind is just like every day is the happiest day in the earth, and then like you sit down and
no,
watch and you just drool and you're just like yeah, it's great, it's
I
funny. Look at the kid, he can't speak. Oh my
Jesus
god,
fucking Christ. Can I go?
it's
Can I
not
talk
well,
now?
yeah, go ahead.
Is it
It's
my
fine.
turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. Go ahead.
I am to be fair, and this has been like for the entirety of my life, I've been very easy to impress when it comes to media.
No.
Like when it comes fuck you. I have been. And so to me, I enjoyed this more than probably other people, including you, enjoyed it. You also said at the beginning that you were more critical of this season than you have been in the past. So
Yes,
I'm also
that's
taking
fair.
that into account because
No, that's fair.
usually I feel like this would be a 6.5 out of 10, if not a 7 out of 10 for you as well. But
I
you are saying that you're being a little bit more critical, which is fine.
so
I've also continued down this like with this show. Like I've watched the first 3 episodes. I will say the second 2 episodes are very purely feels like Saturday morning cartoons in the best way possible.
yeah. I
First episode is a bit awkward, but I would say like the second 2 episodes are like a solid 7.5, if not like an 8, because it really does feel like a Saturday morning cartoon. It did bring me back to my childhood of just like waking up in the morning, turning on the TV, getting some milk and fucking cereal, and just watching cartoons. Like it
no,
really brought me back to simpler days.
yeah, and
So
I can
and
definitely
yeah,
see that. Yeah.
and that's what I appreciated about the show. That's why I gave it as a 7. But I do think it does get better. Like I think 7 is probably like the middle ground of where it can be. It can
Mhm.
go up, but it can also go down. But yeah, I get listen. Like if I wanted to be critical, yeah, I could give it a 5 as well. Like this is just
I think
bleh, whatever. But like, I don't care. Like I enjoyed it. So
I think I'll speak more to just my rankings real quick too, in that I think right now I'm kind of searching for what I want in my anime, and I think obviously given how I've ranked some of these, I'm kind of past the point of like it just needs to be entertaining slop. I'm like it needs to it be substantive entertaining slop. Like there has to be something else there for me to gravitate towards, and a lot of the ones that I've named so far just didn't have it, right? Like they're all missing something key and crucial where I was like I can't hold on to you right now in the hopes that you're going to continue on this path. I'm going to have to keep my distance, observe and see how you know, traverse the season before I go in and like really go, all right, you're good enough. I'll dive in. So I think that's another element to it too, where I'm
that's fair.
more
Yeah, because
skeptical.
both of our times is very valuable right now, and it's just like
Oh yeah,
I get
that's
not
probably
wanting to
playing a
watch
factor too.
it's I get not wanting to watch a shitty show, but like at the same time, I'm gonna grade it by how fun I had with it and how good I think the show actually
trust
is. So like if I
trust me, if
think it's
I
a good show and I entertain and it was good like entertaining, it's gonna go up. But if it was just entertaining and not very good, it's gonna be somewhere in that middle ground.
if I could go back to the age of Saturday morning cartoons, waking up and pouring that bowl of cereal and just sitting down and watching cartoons for 3 hours, like I would be right there with a couple of these. But as
Yeah.
a 30-plus-year-old working human being that has responsibilities, I need something that's like, make me feel things again. I need to feel emotions. I need to ensure myself that I'm not just a walking fucking husk of a thing. I need to be alive.
Ah!
Yeah, and
Okay, moving
scream.
on. You've gotten through all your 5s. I've
Yes,
got a few 6s on
go
my
for
list
it.
that you have not watched, so let me get through those real quick. Um, I want to end this love game. I said this is the definition of a fine show. Concept will get old and frustrating after an extent. I could see the writing on the wall with this one. It's not. It's fine. Like the comedy bits are tee hee hoo hoo ha ha. Like I may have gotten a chortle out of me once or twice, but like
Yeah,
nothing major. So I'm not going to be watching this one. It was a 6 out of 10. It was just fine. There was nothing
Did,
really great about it.
remind me, is this the one that we said it was basically just a cheap version of Kaguya-sama Love is War?
Yeah, they basically start a game as like middle schoolers or whatnot, where they just say "I love you" to each other to see who can blush
Like,
first,
who
and
can
neither
actually
of them
break?
do. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, and then they get into high school and they still continue this game, but then it's just like, oh my god, he's actually so cute. Oh my god, she's actually so cute. Oh
And you're
my
like,
god.
ugh.
It's just like, oh fuck me,
Then it's like, will
gag
their
me with a
emotions
spoon.
actually overtake, and will they, well, show their true
Yeah.
feeling?
So
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
I can see the definition on, like, I can see what's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna stick around for all of it. Another one, Drops of God. I may have talked about this when I went to go see the Crunchyroll special night.
Yes.
Interesting. Like, the best part about this was the story, which is really upsetting because the
Oh.
story was great with really, really bad to middling visuals. Like, in the sense of just, you know how after the first episode or three, where like the quality comes way down and it's just
Oh
like
yeah. Yep.
all the hair is very stagnant. Their face emotions are very stagnant, and it's just lips that just move. It's like that. And I'm
Ugh.
like, from episode one, I'm like, ooh, that's not great.
Yeah, it's rough.
Um, and this would be higher. Like, animation aside, this would be higher. But then they added the weird fucking anime shenanigans that really hold this back, and that is the sense of like they would have a sip of wine and then have like an internal monologue with an orgasm of like, oh my god, it's sublime. Oh my god, have you ever had something as good as this? And
Ugh.
it's just like, I can't even suggest this show to anybody because it's so fucking weird.
It's like the pompous
So,
version of Food Wars.
like, yes, literally.
Yeah.
And like, it sucks because I love wine, and this show just fucking makes the weirdest decisions. So it's a 6 out of 10. The best start the What sucks is like the story's so good. It's so compelling. It is like, mm,
It's always very
but
frustrating when
alas,
you
no.
get something where it has all the elements that it needs to be good,
Honestly,
and then it just like falls apart with certain
I'm
aspects.
pretty sure there's a live adaptation on Apple, and I'm probably just
Just
gonna
gonna
watch
watch.
that. I'm probably just gonna watch that, and if
Do
they
it.
do the weird anime bullshit in there where they have the orgasm with an internal monologue, I'm fucking out again. But it's just like, god damn it. How did you take this really great story and just fucking huck it over your shoulder? I don't
It's
understand.
anime, man. It's anime.
I guess. And then one more 6 out of 10 that I have on here that you don't. Killed Again, Mr. Detective. My notes here are part one of an arc, which was fine, but leaves on a big question, and only time will tell if like the series is actually good. It was fine.
I
It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just fine. Like, I do want to watch another episode, but
cor-
I don't
correct me
know.
if I'm wrong though. Is that not like a continuation or within the same universe as the detective is already dead?
No, it's a different
Oh,
universe.
okay. Okay. Like the promotion and everything for it looked like the characters looked almost the same.
Nope,
Okay.
different universe.
All right.
But yeah, I might watch an episode two just to see if it's any good. But
Well,
I was
you gotta
less than
know
impressed. Like, it was
what happened,
fine.
the cliffhanger. You gotta figure it out.
If I'm being completely honest, I watched it over a week ago. I don't remember what the fuck the cliffhanger was.
I can tell it left a lasting impression on you.
Yeah, really. And then we both have a few like 6 to 6.5s.
Yeah.
That are on the same. So let's go through those. Let's go through the first one, Botan Kamina, or yeah,
Yeah.
Kamina fully blossoms when drunk. I gave it a 6, you gave it a 6.5. My notes for it were, let's speed run trying all alcohol and hitting on everyone in the student dorm,
Yeah.
the anime. It was fine, pretty but not much substance for the first episode of a new series. It's just a pure slice of life.
Yeah,
Like, that's all it was.
I had
So,
Yuri anime that highlights everyone's personal vices. Sure, I'm in. And then the characters are cute as well. Perfect. So I gave it a 6.5 mainly because I do kind of sense that there's going to be some deeper thing that we're gonna get to with the characters specifically. You kind of
I
get
don't
like
know.
a hint of it. There's like hints of it with like the three that we meet at the beginning, and I'm like, okay, I like to see how this unravels. Not just like the love potential interest, we'll say, but like more about where they're at in life and why their particular vice is this and what caused it, and kind of maybe seeing if they're going to be more open about it and rather than like isolated, right? Because drinking alone is wildly different than drinking with friends.
You're not wrong.
So and like it's in for reasons, right? It's like it can be interpreted for one way, one reason or another why someone would do that, but knowing the reason is kind of where I was at. Like, why does this person? So I gave it a 6.5. Again, it's not good, right? It's a little bit
Yeah.
above fine. But the half was more just because I can sense or hope maybe I'm just a hopeless optimistic in this sense that there could be something more to uncover as we get introduced to the characters and learn a little bit more about them. But it is just purely
Fair
in the
enough.
sense of watching a whole dorm full of girls get hammered and flirt with one another. Which in that case,
Yeah.
if that's the end of it, it'll probably just end up being a 5. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch any more of this. I'm dropping this one already.
Okay. Well, you have
I'm dropping a
you have
lot.
31.
I'm dropping a
And
lot.
I
So
that's the other element too, is that like I should have made a note that like of the 17 that I watched, I went in wanting to watch all 17 too. It wasn't like I was like, these
yeah,
are just the ones that I'm like semi interested in. These are ones where I was like, no, I could see myself watching them all. So
yeah,
that's another
I
element to
had
it
enough
too.
of this. There are a few that we've already gone over that I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna watch this, but there are others that were very low that I'm still gonna watch, like Reborn as a Vending Machine. Yes,
Yeah.
if Drops of God gets a dub, sure, I'll watch it because I think the story is the best part about that. Snowball Earth, I'm going to continue despite. I mean, that was higher on my
Yeah.
list, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless, even the next one I have as continuation if it gets a dub, and sure as shit, fucking somehow, this one got a dub. I looked today and it's like English dub. I'm like, how? How did this one, of all the fucking shows, did this
Oh,
one get a dub? And that is Mistress Kanan?
Kanan.
I don't know. How the yeah, is devilishly easy.
Actually, it started
How
when
did
I
this
when
get
I
an
s-
English?
when I started the episode. It started in English, and I was like, I kind of want to watch the first episode in Japanese just to hear the difference. But
Yeah. So I gave this a 6.5. I said it's a funny rom-com that's more audio fan service than it is visual. Because going into
yeah,
it, I
honestly,
thought
yeah,
that this was going to be a visual fan service like
eh,
show, and to a degree it
it'll
is, but not really.
it'll get there. I think we're
Oh, I'm
just
sure it will. From the characters on the poster, like yeah, we'll get there. But
oh
like
yeah,
episode 1 was a hell of a lot more like audio fan service than it was, you know,
yeah,
visually.
like yeah. This was
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, but it
yeah.
wasn't like, yeah.
This
So
one made me laugh. Like keep in mind, I did sprinkle in some periods of time like during my lunch break at where I was like I gotta watch a couple episodes of stuff. So I'm like trying not to laugh out loud while watching this. And yeah, no, it was as I wrote in my notes, perfect cute slop that I want each season. I just want one of these each season. Good humor throughout with some cute scenes splattered as well. Again, nothing substantive about it that would really like make it good. It's just
yeah,
succubus, daughter of Beelzebub, I think.
Beelzebub,
Yeah,
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. Um, is like I'm tired of the food here in hell or wherever, whatever devil realm I live in. I'm gonna go to Earth and steal the souls of people. And sure enough, she's like, I found the tastiest soul. And the guy's like, yeah, suck me dry. And she's like, whoa, this is what? And he's like,
Hey
yeah,
now.
yeah, come on. And like starts ripping off his shirt. And she's like, ah, no. So then all the hijinks ensue. So it's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. But it is, there was one scene in particular where they're like, the whole thing happens where he's like, all right, if you're not gonna suck me bone dry, then can we at least be boyfriend girlfriend? And she's like, I guess I can agree to that. He's like, cool. Hey, can we call each other by our first names? and he starts like rattling off her first name and gets really close and whispers it, and just she's like, at least add the son at the end, smack, and he's like, thank you very much, and he just goes flying, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, perfect, I love it. It's stupid, but it makes me laugh every time.
It is really ridiculously
Yeah,
dumb,
there.
but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just this is a fun one. It's got like a nice twist element to it, because I know people are gonna be like, well, there's other ones like this that are similar. You said they were shit. And it's like, at least this one's fun. It knows that it's stupid fun, right? It's gonna be a bunch of, based on the title card, it's gonna be another bunch of devils that spawn that are also trying to vie for his soul, and they're all gonna be big titty devil women. Like, it's gonna be stupid over the top bullshit, but at least it's got a fun element to it of like, it's a bunch of succubus trying to like steal his soul.
And I think what also was appealing to it compared to others is that the comedy was at like such a quick breakneck pace that it
Oh
just
yeah.
like you didn't have time to just settle in. You were just laughing continuously.
Yeah,
So,
it was on par with the witty back and forth conversation from Ridiculous too, where it's like there's no pause, like they're not breathing, they're just quick wit after quick wit after quick wit between characters, and it's kind of that same element, but this one obviously had more of like, well, Ridiculous had some
yeah.
slapstick, but this one had a little bit more of like the reactive slapsticky gag type humor too, which made it, again, entertaining.
That's fair. You have one more 6, but it's in my 7.5s, and I'm gonna wait for us
Yeah,
to
we can
discuss
wait.
this. I'm just
That's
gonna get through a
fine.
bunch.
That's fine.
So let me get through a bunch of 6.5s and a few 7s here. First and foremost, Agents of the Four Seasons: Dance of Spring. Um,
What the
it's on
fuck was
most of
that?
these. By the way, all of these are on Crunchyroll except for the few that we've discussed were on High
High
Dive,
dive.
which
Yep.
was the Yawao,
Yawa
the
Yawa
way yo
Sensei.
what the
Yawa Yawa. Yawa Yawa Sensei.
and Curio Fan Club. Those are on High
Yes.
Dive. Everything else has been on Crunchyroll. But yeah, Agents of the Four Seasons: Dance of Spring. 6.5, a mythical love tale between the seasons of the year. Not my cup of tea, but Studio Wit made a
Oh.
compelling first episode. Um, yeah, as like, I probably wouldn't watch this if it were just me, like, having to watch the dub week in and week out, or sub week in, week out.
Yeah.
It's getting a dub. So I'm just gonna stick with it as a dub. But yeah, like it kind of gave you a sense of foreboding that, like, they're like, hey, this thing happened 10 years ago that's very dramatic and very haunting to the seasons, which were like made incarnate into people. Like the seasons were people, and each year, or each season, they have to like go to a holy site to make it their season,
Mm-hmm.
when it's their time. And something happened 10 years ago where spring basically went away, and then 10 years later she's finally back and she performs her rite and makes one town in southern Japan spring again. And
Oh.
so then it just kind of kickstarts the like, oh my god, spring's back. And you don't know if like the winter season wants to kill her, is her lover, is what's going on there, the backstory. But like, again, it was a very compelling first episode, but it's not my cup of tea normally.
Yeah.
But it did get a dub, so I will continue with the dub. The next is the klutzy class monitor and the girl with the short skirt. I gave it a 6.5 again. Solid comedy bits, kind of just like Mistress Kanan, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
however you want to
Yeah.
pronounce that, is devilishly easy. Comedy in this was actually super great. I really enjoyed it. I said it's not super fan servicey, despite like the title of the show. It wasn't super fan servicey, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. And it was a cute budding romance between multiple characters. If I have time, I'll continue it. I really do hope this one gets a dub so I can just continue it. But honestly, this might be just like my silly little romance show that I continue because I really enjoyed this first episode.
Yeah.
So I think you would enjoy this one.
It
a
was
lot.
on my list. I just did not get to it, unfortunately. But I'm sure it feeds into the same, like you said, of Kanan and things like that. So I'm sure I'll like
Yeah.
it too.
And then my last 6.5, I have The Classroom of a Black Cat and a Witch.
Oh,
And
God.
then my notes here are holy butthole, Batman. This is probably going to be my dumb but fun show of the season. Now, if you don't know what the show is about, girl who has basically zero magic talent wants to go to the like most prestigious magic school, like high school.
Yeah.
And she like stumbles upon a cat, and she can understand what the cat is saying, and the cat is also surprised that she can understand what she's saying. And the cat gives her basically a month to figure out where this book is that will basically teach her how to break the curse on him. And she does. She finally finds it on like the last day, and lo and behold, the way to break the curse on this cat, who is also a wizard or human, is to give it a good old smooch on the bumhole. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, no, making out with the cat's butthole. That's. Mm-hmm.
That's
Sure.
that's wildly different than giving a smooch. Making out, that's like you're getting
Okay,
into
it
like
wasn't
rim.
making
You're
out.
like that's like
It
rim
was
job
just giving it a.
territory.
I mean, to be fair, giving it a kiss is semi rim job-ish, but
I mean, just a little like it's fine. You just there's not more.
anyways, regardless, it was like there was a good bit of comedy throughout it that I did enjoy. But this is by all means a very stupid show.
Did you laugh the most when
So
she kissed his butthole?
honestly, no, because it was like she basically was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm
I'm
not gonna kiss your asshole. I'm
I
not gonna
I'm
do this.
proud of
And
you.
then they get in yeah, and then they get into an action scene in which like they're both gonna die. She's like, well,
I'm
if I'm gonna
kissing
die,
your
I guess I'll just kiss this
butthole.
guy's butthole. So, and it turned out to be the missing, magician that she looked up to. So, yeah,
Oh wow! What a twist! Who would have thunk? Who would have
yeah.
saw that
Who would have
coming?
thunk? No, I really thought that the comedy bits were funny, but yeah, that there are some other things that I'm leaving out there about the whole like not necessarily butthole bit,
Don't
but the
want to
curse
spoil
bit.
too much about the cat butthole. Come on.
But there's a reason why he needs to keep her around. So, anyways, next up which is the last show that I watched going into this recording, 100 scenes from Awajima. This is going to be a slow burn slice of life drama about an all girls review school, which if you don't know what it is, it's basically an art school where you either go for singing, acting, dancing, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I really like the art style. Like it is a very unique watercolor type art style, but the show as a whole just isn't what I'm kind of craving right now. Like I'm not really looking for that. I feel like Journal with Witch really gave me that fill of just like a
Yeah.
good solid drama based in reality. So as good as the show is, which it is a solid 7 out of 10 right now, I'm sure it gets better as time goes on. Not what I'm in the mood for currently.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate it, but it's not all there right now. And then two more real quick. We'll just go with the beginning after the end, season 2. I said a better first showing than the last season. Hopefully, the animation won't get worse than it already is. So everybody shit their pants about the show last season or the first season because the animation was abysmal. And yeah, it was the very
It was
lazy like if you watched any of or like all the bad bits of season 3 of One Punch Man, that's how the entire season was basically for this first show,
yeah.
which is a shame because the story for this series is actually very good. It is an isekai, but it's actually a very well done one. So I kind of really wish that the animation was up to snuff. I will
Yeah.
say the animation isn't the greatest, but at least the action scenes now are in 3D, like they 3D
Oh.
modeled it. So it's like, hey, people are actually moving around and it's not just fucking like action frames where it's just like characters remaining still and then the
That like everything
outside
moving
frame
around.
is just
Yeah.
moving around. So I can appreciate that. But yeah, no, story's still solid. It's a solid 7 out of 10. I'm enjoying it. The people overreacted. It's not that bad. Just if you want a good solid isekai, you can do worse. And then the last one I have on my list before we continue talking about shows we have in common is Mao, which I put on here is going to be a slow burn. Like, oh shit, nope. I definitely copied and pasted my scenes from Awajima into Mao somehow.
I was like, did you
I
watch
did get
Mao?
No, I did. I gave it a
Oh,
7
okay.
out of 10. No, the way I described it, and I'm just gonna close my eyes and picture what I wrote out here. It is today's like it is a this generation version of Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Except Kagome isn't nearly useless. Like Kagome in the original has like a bow and arrow, but that's about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, she's just like just fucking
Help!
yelling for Inuyasha, just Inuyasha.
Leon!
But yeah, Leon. Uh, but it's this generation's fucking Inuyasha girl. Has a tragic accident as a child. Her parents die in the accident. And you find out at the end of the episode that it was a supernatural accident, which
Oh!
allows her basically to, at like the site of the accident, which is like a shopping mall, not shopping mall, what is it? Shopping arcade is what they call it in Japan, like the
Okay, yeah, yeah,
shopping
yeah.
strip.
Yep.
It happens at the intersection of a shopping arcade, and when she goes into the arcade, she goes back in time and basically is in,
It's like an
you know,
older period of Japan, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
necessarily Edo period, but for the lack of period times, Edo period, where they still use katana, etc. So,
Yeah.
basically, she goes back in time, and there are demons, and you meet the other main character, who is a guy who is similar to her, in which he's been cursed by a cat demon, who is also like the cat demon was like they alluded it to it's as bad of a demon as it is, the pots that they do for poison, where they stick a bunch of poisonous insects in there, and whoever,
Oh,
like,
yes.
whichever insect is the last one to live is like the most poisonous.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like they allude to this cat being like that. Like it was just the biggest baddest demon, and it put a curse on the guy. So yeah, it's basically this generation's Inuyasha but different.
Cool.
So yeah, neat. Like if I have time, if there's a dub for it whenever it comes out, I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I did put I do remember saying this in there. This isn't a critique on the show itself, but the platform it's on, Hulu. I have not watched a show on Hulu in a very long time.
Ugh, yeah.
They have fucked up their subtitling to hell and back.
That's
I have not
not
I did not
good.
watch it on my yeah, I didn't watch it on my desktop, but I tried watching it on my console and like on my PlayStation,
Yeah.
and it put all the subtitles in the bottom left corner, and I couldn't change it. And it also, like, the subtitling, like, it had, like, for the character introductions where it, like, has their name next to the character,
Yeah.
instead of putting the subtitle next to that, it just had it as a top line for the subtitle of the dialogue that was still going. So it's just like, oh, this is doubly bad. And then I put it on, like, tried to watch it on mobile, and it was just as bad, except it was centered. And I'm like, well,
Uh,
I'd rather watch it on my TV than watch it on fucking mobile, so I guess I'll just
yeah.
suck it up and watch it in
It's
the bottom left corner.
That's
Like
not great
Hulu,
because Hulu's got the last part for the Thousand Year Blood War for Bleach, and if they fuck up that,
wonderful.
like even the subtitling for that,
Yeah, so I haven't tried watching it on like my desktop, but like
mm.
watching it in those avenues was really bad. So
Well,
I really hope this gets a
big
dub, because otherwise I'm not going to be watching another episode of that.
yeah,
So,
fix your shit, Hulu.
yep. Moving on, we are going to get into kind of our sevens. We'll go over your 1-6, my 7.5. Go for it, Nakamura-kun.
Yeah,
I've been talking for a while, so you take this one.
I people are gonna skewer me. They're like, it's only BL1 and you gave it a 6. Um, no, I found the MC to be painfully frustrating. Monologues more than Light Yagami. I love the late 80s, early 90s art style. I love the sound design too. I thought they mixed it well for like having that aesthetic, very retro feel to it, which I really enjoy about it. But my god, the MC is just infuriating. And again, I know the whole story, the whole idea is that he's trying to get over his own mental and emotional hurdles to just get the courage to talk to this guy. I understand it. But holy moly, is it just like wanting to tear your eyes out at times. Like, just you need to do something, man. You got to stop inner monologuing. You can't be the edgy emo lord in the corner that thinks he's somehow fate's going to shine upon thee and so he's going to get a happenstance. He imagines all those
But it
situations.
will.
He imagines every situation like that, but he doesn't do anything to do it. And you're just like, just do something, anything. But like, yeah, I know. It's also, this might be talking too much about myself. It's well, so okay, here my issue that I have with BLs and GL stuff too a lot of the times as well. And honestly, you can attribute this to any anime that shows you know,
Any
relationships,
romance anime.
yeah, any romance anime, anything with a love interest, right? Whenever you are portraying characters where one's like madly in love with someone else, but you clearly don't know the emotions or the thoughts of the other character, my first thought that flies through my brain is, how do you know this character also has those types of feelings towards your particular gender or like whom you identify as? It's always just usually a thought that crosses my mind. And the personal side of it is that I have a very close friend, and yes, we are still very much friends, that confessed his love to me in our sophomore year of high school. And it was like the first time I had anyone actually confess to me, like male or female. So that was like, first off, a new experience. Second off, I was like, well, I'm not gay. I don't have any like emotional like feelings towards you other than like friendship, right? Like platonic feelings. So I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle it, and I did not handle it well. And he still holds that against me. He's like, "You remember when I confessed to you?" I was like, "Yes, I know. I understand. I get it. I did not respond appropriately. I understand. Sorry, I was
I
also
met this
young."
person, didn't I? At your wedding?
Yes, you did. Um,
Yeah.
he's a
They're
lovely
awesome.
human
They're
being.
great.
Yeah, he's a
He's a
lovely human being.
wonderful human
But
being.
like, I kind of like, because I have that experience. Like, I look at this situation and I'm like, man, if I was in the other character's shoes, I'm like, what an awkward experience at some point if he finally musters up the, like, it's just that added to it, and I'm like, eh. No, by the way, if anyone's wondering, like, and you're gonna scream at me that like, well, your ranking's low just because you heard the stuff about the mangaka too. No, that did not play a factor into it. I think the all of the noise around the mangaka is ridiculous, especially if you're saying all these things and support like the mangaka who wrote Rurouni Kenshin, right? Then you're just an even bigger fucking imbecile. Um,
Yep.
so no, that did not play a factor whatsoever. Purely just first episode. I wanted more from it. I did make a note that says that it has plenty of room to improve. I don't see this going any lower than a 6. Honestly, I imagine by the end of the season it's going to be at least a 7, probably a 7.5. I cannot see
Yeah.
it going lower. But for a first episode, it was like very, very like at one point I was like, I just need to step away and come back to it because I wanted to throw my phone across the room.
I don't know then if did you watch this subtitled or dubbed?
I watched the subtitled. I did not watch
Okay.
dubbed.
I don't know if the dub will help because God, the voice. So I gave this a 7.5. I first saw this subtitled in theaters at the Crunchyroll night thing.
Yep.
But then I also went back and watched the dub because it's getting a simul dub, and I'm just gonna watch it that way. It's gonna be easy. I said it's a fun comedy BL that has a unique retro style animation. I'm really looking forward to more. I will say that yeah, I do agree with the first episode where the main character is a little annoying, but it's not that bad in my opinion. I also was able to get past most of the internal monologue. Like normally I have a 0 tolerance now for the internal monologue, but this one was more comedy based than it was serious, that to the point where I was just like I can look past it for that reason. Um I think you might get a kick out of the dub because I won't say that the main character's voice actor is whiny, but they've kind of got like a weird like embarrassed tone to their voice the entire time that like I can't even describe what their voice is like, but I think that the voice actor for Nakamura is really funny and just in and of itself
Mm-hmm.
that I think you would enjoy it. Like
I,
uh, I
I,
would say go watch the next episode in
all right,
dub and
all
see
right.
how you like it.
I'll watch it. Well,
But I
I'm
will
probably gonna end
say,
up watching
yeah,
the full series with my wife, so we'll end up watching it in dub.
so
Then
you'll watch it dub.
yeah, and I will note too, it was definitely not based on the voice acting alone. I think just again the way that he's portrayed
Yeah.
in a lot of the like the scenes where he's like brooding in a corner or like mulling over things, and I'm just and like he's picturing all, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the only way those things are gonna happen is if you do something. You need to do something, and then
Yeah.
it's like
No,
that.
I get it.
Yeah. And I understand that's like his character. I get that's going to be the growth moments. I understand that. But for a first episode, it's very like when you feel like nothing substantive happened, like there was no like the needle didn't move forward at all. You're like, what was the point? Like what are we doing here? We're just jerking each other off or hoping that we're jerking each other off? Like, come on, let's go. Let's do something. So
Yeah.
again, I have high hopes that this is going to be a 7 by the end, and I'm sure it will be.
We'll get there. But one that I have higher that we can just talk about because it's a 7 for you. ReZero Starting Life in Another World, Season 4. We
Yep.
can just get through this one really quickly. I give it an 8.5 because it's still ReZero. It's still very great. I just said picks up right where it left off for better or worse. I do wish that there was a slight recap, but at the same time, like, I get it. We're 4 seasons in. You either remember or you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I'm ReZero's one of my favorite, if not my most favorite isekai of all time. I'm being fair with it. The first episode, honestly, I could have probably given it a 6 even. As a first episode, all it did was tied up loose ends from last season. That's it. And then you set the stage for like here's where we're going next. That's it. Like
yeah.
there wasn't anything to it. And again, we are ranking these based on first episodes. We're not ranking them based on like the series as a whole. We're saying here is the impressions that
Yeah.
we got from first episodes. I am in no doubt that season 4 will end up being 8.5, 9, right? Like it's gonna be up there. I'm pretty sure my first episode of season 3. Oh, that was high. I remember that one. That one sticks with you. Um but like it's sometimes returning series they have that kind of like let's clean up the
Lull.
debris, right? Reset the stage and get things going, right? Not everyone can start off like on a fast hot note like some other returning series. So, you know, it's understandable. But so critically speaking from a first episode, it is at best a 7. Like honestly, again, I could have probably given it a 6, but at least we get like all the loose ends tied up from the last season. In addition to setting the stage for what's to come, you get a little twist in there too. So you're like, all right, at least there's something that we can kind of
Yeah,
hold on to. But yeah,
I mean, I gave it an 8.5 for the fact that yeah, it does like it
8.5 is
gets
high,
straight
bro.
into.
Eight and a
No, it
half is
is high,
high.
but that's because it does again. It resolves the cliffhanger from the last season, and then it's like, hey, what's the next season going to be about? And just jump straight into it, and just is like, hey, we have instead of doing setup, or
Yeah.
hey, let's really debrief for multiple episodes with all the different characters throughout the world, let's just hop into what we're doing next. And they do. And they pace it out to where it's just like, great, we are on to the next thing. We are not going to linger here anymore.
Yep.
What happened here is done. So for me, jumping back into a new season, I really do appreciate the fact that it's like, great, we are in a new season. Let's get this story started.
Yeah.
Let's not just fucking stick around for an episode or two.
I can appreciate what they did. But again, critically speaking, as a first episode, it's a 7, right?
Fair enough.
Like,
All right.
yeah.
We gotta blow through some.
I
of these
really
other
don't have
ones 'cause
much
we've
else
been
to say about the rest, like that are at 7.5 or higher, because my thoughts on them are pretty
cool.
quick.
Then
So
I will talk about them. First up, we have Gals Can't Be Kind to Otaku. I said this was a cute show that seemed or like is a lot more wholesome than I expected. I thought
yes,
this was gonna be a lot more in the sense of just like a Nagatoro where she fucking teases him to be like
Nope.
hell and back, and then just also kind of get gun shy.
Nope.
But no, this was a lot more wholesome than I ever anticipated.
It gives Hokkaido gals with a mix of I mean, I guess Nagatoro, but not really. I'm trying to think of something else similar. It's very akin to Hokkaido gals in the sense of like it's a gal that like they have their own also personal hobbies too. So, like outwardly they're gals, but inwardly there might be a little bit of an otaku in them. Who knows? Yeah, it's cute. The art style is absolutely stunning. I think throughout like the design and everything of the characters too
Yeah.
is stellar. I This was one of the series that I got to see early on in Anime Japan too. They gave us like a quick trailer with the voice actors too. Uh, I had this high on my list to begin with, so it's a for sure full watch. And I imagine this is gonna end up pretty high at the end of the season too. So yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Yep. Next we have Kill Blue. It's a fun series with a good first episode. I've read the entire series, and it's a fun series. It's not like bad. It's not great. It's a good series.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the first episode. I do appreciate the fact that of all the intros for this season,
Oh yeah.
this was the show to get a K-pop intro.
They went hard on the intro. Like they went
They
really
went
hard.
so hard. I was like, "What the hell?" I was not
I was
expecting it.
no, that threw me off when I watched it too.
Thoroughly enjoyed it though. I was happy for it. But yeah, I it's a fun action semi not really. I won't even call it a romance. It's a fun action comedy. It's another
Yeah.
Shonen Jump property. If you like Shonen Jump shows, you'll enjoy this.
I
It's a good action comedy.
Yeah, I've read some of the manga. It didn't really impress me. I will say though that the anime took all of the best qualities from the manga and like really highlighted and exemplified them, which I really appreciated. It made it more enjoyable to watch too. So that's why I thought 7.5 was a decent ranking for the first episode. I also don't imagine it's gonna get higher than that, but
That's fair.
it's fun enough. I think this is what I equate to being my turn my brain off type series.
Fair.
Something like this.
I will say real quick, having read the series, it baffled me as to how many late endgame things they actually allude to in
Like
the first couple
early on.
episodes. Yeah, like early on that I just didn't pick up on, and now that I've read them, like and know like what the twist is at the end,
You're
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
you're like Leonardo
that
DiCaprio,
is
and
like yeah, it's just like
like what? Yeah.
yeah. So really enjoyed it. Let me blast through a few more of these because I've got a bunch of I've got one more 7.5 and a few eights that you have
Go
not.
go go.
Uh, yeah, Petals of Reincarnation.
Oh God.
This yeah. So I watched this one today. I put this at a 7.5.
This is on High
So here are
Dive.
my notes. This is on High Dive. Despite knowing one of the characters coming to the future episodes, the concept is solid. It's very much an edgelord type story, but it's nice to indulge in that kind of like genre every once in a while.
God damn it.
And like honestly, there are worse things out there. Basically,
There's a
they
demon inside me, and I just need to let it out.
no, that's honestly not even it at all. Like basically
What I'm
the
getting at.
synopsis of the story the
All right,
synopsis of the
go your
story
synopsis.
basically is the main character is average at best, and he has to live in the footsteps of his brother who is now passed away, who was legitimately a genius at everything. He was great at sports,
Of
great at
course.
the arts, great at studying,
Sucks
etc.
being
But
the younger sibling.
he passed away early due to unforeseen circumstances, and so his whole family compares him to his dead older brother, and he's like, I just want to be good at one thing. And transfer student basically finds him at school and is like, hey, you have all the characteristics to be one of the reborn, which is basically if you commit suicide with a special knife. Yeah, I know, trigger warning there, sorry.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's my bad. I've just been trying to get through it quickly. That I didn't even think about it.
You're fine. You're fine.
But yeah, if you do this with a special knife, you might get like have the powers
Might.
basically of a yeah, like there's a chance that you might not end up getting the abilities of basically somebody from the past. And so this kid basically has the abilities to steal things, like basically has the abilities of the a world-renowned thief. And if he is within like a meter of you, or like sorry, like a foot of you, or however distance long,
Mm-hmm.
he's able to steal anything from your persons, whether it be physical, internal, or you find out at the very episode, your power. So basically, this dude discovers that he can steal other reincarnated people's powers. And he's just like, I'm going to be good at everything now. And it's a dark story. It's a dark edgelord type show. And yeah, I know that the
And
reincarnation of Hitler
who's
is in it at some point.
I was about to say who's gonna show up at some point.
I know that that's gonna show up at some point, but like again, they don't know whose power they're borrowing. They just know that it is somebody from history, and
I am
yeah.
so afraid for whenever that particular character shows up.
Oh, I am too, and I'm sure it happens in episode 2 because there's been screenshots for it already of how they've
Oh
already
no.
edited like the anime
Oh
for it. But
no. What we're finding out too, for everyone who's still listening and watching, is that this is the season of Frankfurter's Edgelord Chunabuyo type season, where he's
oh
just
god,
going to, he's got this uncontrollable power he cannot understand, and it must come out.
oh boy.
You have a lot of
Anyways,
those on your list this season. I'm not gonna lie.
do I?
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
got
if
more
I
than
do.
me. That's
We'll see.
definitively you got more than me. All right, keep going. Hurry up.
Okay.
Go go go.
Anyways, next 8 out of 10, The Warrior Princess and the Barbaric King.
I wanted to watch that one. I didn't get around to it. It was on my list.
8 out of 10 deviates from the initial couple chapters, but it's still a solid start to the series. I really enjoyed it.
I've heard good things.
I feel like the first couple chapters in the manga are a little bit more sexual, but when I went back to
Damn.
read them, I was like, no, they did a pretty darn good job with what they were dealt. There wasn't any quote unquote nudity in the sense that like, oh, her hair covers everything, and like that happens in the anime as well. So it's just like there's no inherent nudity, but there is like that
Yeah, yeah, just
in
like
the
that.
show.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, it's a solid start to a potential action rom-com, but a rom-com nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed it. I'm going to be continuing it, so 8 out of 10. Um, that time I got reincarnated as a slime season 4.
Yep.
Fun return to the world of reincarnated as a slime, 8 out of 10. Dr. Stone, Science Future, Core 3. Man, I fucking blubbered like a baby at the last couple episodes of fucking Core 2. Just this picks back up where it left off. It's fucking great. Wonderful. Absolutely adore it. And then my last 8.5 that I have before we get into your 9, you have one 8.5 that I didn't watch. So
Yes.
we'll get into that here shortly. Needy Girl Overdose.
Yeah, how
Now,
was that? Because it's based off a video
getting
game.
I didn't remember that it was based off a video game until afterwards, which I did some research of like where the fuck did this come from. I gave it an 8.5. I said it's a psychological think piece, but also just hyper pop
Yeah.
that needs to be seen. Like it is so intensely colorful, but also so intensely dark. Of just like it dives into the sense of like, hey, this person basically blows up on the interwebs because she's like a great streamer. She doesn't care what other people think about her. She's real. She's a person. She's tangible. She thinks her mind, unlike everybody else who hides behind a facade. And so
Yeah.
she does all these things, whether it be drinking or drug use or whatever. And the media doesn't like this person because they're a bad influence, and she's like, how am I a bad influence? I am living me. I am doing like what I want to do. I am living my life. If people choose to copy me, that is on them. I am not responsible for the action of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like that psychological just like think piece of just like, hey, to an extent, are these streamers, do they have an influence on people? Like, should they be held responsible for other people's actions because people see what they do online and then they decide to copy them? Like, it's a really really like interesting think piece, and even like the media does like an interview on them, and the interviewer kind of gets so transfixed on them of just like that they almost get like hypnotized by them of just like I understand it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so it's just one of those things that the first episode happens so quickly and so just it just lays out a lot of just like psychological questions and think pieces that are relevant to today's day and age, that it's just like this is wild. Like I need to know what happens
Mm-hmm.
in the next episode. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at least giving this one more episode, but this really took me by surprise. I was very taken aback by this to the point where it's just like when I looked up what the video game was, it is a light novel, but it is like a very it's a like 16-bit pixel art light novel. So they
Yeah.
did a fuck ton with the art on this show from what they were given. That is something to be appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will definitely be watching at least one more episode. So yeah,
Good. Nice,
Needy
nice.
Girl Overdose. I think the video game is called Needy Streamer Overdose or something like that
Something,
instead.
yeah, something like that.
But yeah, no. Oh, excuse me, headache up there. That is also on Crunchyroll. I'll go over one more nine before you can get into yours. Or you got an 8.5, so you go into that
Yeah.
real quick.
The Ramparts of Ice. This is on Netflix. Same mangaka as You and I Are Polar Opposites, but incredibly different feel. Like totally starkly different feel from one another. This one's more mature, more serious, more grounded. It's true to the romance category as like that traditional slow burn type of romance. You can kind of get the sense of. Still funny, quirky moments that the mangaka is known for, like those kind of inner monologue moments where characters turn very cartoonish. There's all the like different blurbs on the screen. Like they still have their thumbprint, their identity on it. But it is a wildly different take. If you really like You and I Are Polar Opposites and you're thinking it's the same thing, it's kind of complete opposite. Um, in that sense, but it's wonderful. It's really good. I like the setup. They get really deep into a lot of the key elements in the first episode. You get to know the main character really well, and they set up the stage for a lot of these side characters to start getting more acclimated to and learning about their history and relationships with one another. So, no, I really like it. This is my top romance for the season by far. So it's in. Someone noted to me that the mangaka, and I think I mentioned this maybe last week too, but this mangaka might end up having a chokehold on the romance category this entire year because Polar Opposites comes back in the summer season, and then I believe Ramparts is already scheduled to be back for either core 2 or season 2 in the fall of this year. So they'll have an entire
Yeah.
year of their series being animated, which is they're just going to be at the top of the romance category the entire year. So good for them. But yes, Ramparts of Ice, Netflix, go give it a watch. It's fantastic.
You want to talk about your last show that you have that I do not?
That would be Steel Ball Run.
Yes. I have had every opportunity to watch it. I just haven't because I was like, when is episode coming out or
I
episode 2 coming out? And then they finally announced that it was in fucking fall and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll wait. I'll wait a bit.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah, I mean, I was gonna say if you're living under a rock and don't know what happened and you didn't get all the creepy fucking memes splattered across your social media feeds, kudos to you. But for a while, post the first episode of Steel Ball Run airing, people are like, hey Netflix, when are we getting episode 2? There's nothing on your release schedule. This is really weird. And they were silent for forever. They did confirm that it was going to be done in batch, which was not great to hear. And then we got confirmation that season or episode 2 will come out in the fall, and then they're hopeful that they'll start doing weeklies after that. But
and the worst part is that they're like, it's all according to plan. It's like, fucking whose plan?
yeah, I mean,
You know with the fucking part 6 with Stone Ocean that people were not a fan of the drip feed and the 3 parts and how far
yeah.
apart they were. Why the fuck would you do this again? And it's It baffles me.
And
It
it's
baffles me a
wild
lot.
too. It's wild too because we were kept getting fed information from David Productions even prior to episode 1 airing on how like they wanted to spend a lot of time focusing on the horses because obviously they know that's the key. That's like one of the key elements to this season because it's
Yeah.
a horse race across the United States, and like they wanted to make sure they were getting the detail right and they were animating it to its full potential. They wanted to keep it true to the manga, and I'm like, oh, this is like great news. And I interpreted that as we were gonna get everything done and ready to go for a weekly distribution. Not, oh, we're gonna release episode 1, get everyone hyped up, and then be like, all right, we got to take fucking 6 months off now, boys and girls. We'll see you. We'll see you at the end of the year. Bye. I'm like, holy moly. But I mean, yeah, it's a 9. It's for a first episode. There's nothing more I would want. They did skip one of the characters' backstories, which is really weird.
Huh.
If you've read the series, you know who it is. It's not a spoiler. They didn't really cover Sandman.
Mm.
But what I suspect and what many others do as well is that they're probably going to give it the like episode to episode type treatment where like because Sandman's backstory takes place in like the first 2-ish chapters I think of the first volume. They wanted to like make sure they spent enough time to get through all the way to the end of the first race, which in fairness, episode 1's also like 40-ish minutes long. So it's like you could have spent at least 5 minutes covering his backstory. That's all it really needed. That's all there is in the series, but whatever. I digress. It's good. It's great. It's gonna be probably the best for this season. I would say that if it actually aired this entire season, but it's not going to, so it's gonna be the best of whenever the fuck it finally airs again. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
All right. I've got 3, and then we've got 3. Or sorry, I've got 2 more that you didn't watch, so I'll get into those real quick. Wistoria 1, Sword Season 2, 9 out of 10. Hell yeah! Starting out with Despair and going into a really incredible arc. I really enjoy this arc because it does set the stakes of what is to come. Of just like, hey, nobody's really safe in this world when of magic and swords, in which, you know, everybody's been kind of living very comfy recently, and in that comfort comes a little bit of just what's the word, complacency,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
where it's just like everybody's just kind of like, oh yeah, this is fine, okay, sure. So yeah, I really enjoy this arc, because it does kind of just throw a wrench into all that and just is like, alrighty, here we go. So yeah, episode 1, great start, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to more. And the other 9 out of 10 that I have on here that you did not watch is Marriage Toxin.
It's
I
on my list.
absolutely, yeah, I know. I absolutely adore this series. I'm still reading this series week to week. It is ridiculous. It is probably gone on for entirely too long, but I still love it nonetheless. My notes here are Bones really knocked it out of the park. Episode 1 was awesome and had everything a good, like a great episode needs. It has the characters, charm, and a solid plot to keep the steam engine going. Just ready for the rest of this. Yeah, again, the animation in this is beautiful. Character design is great. The comedy in it, when there is comedy, is wonderful. The action sequences are phenomenal. Really, really, Bones knocked it out of the park. I really enjoy this series a lot,
Nice.
despite the fact that the series itself is batshit crazy. So, to each their own.
We
Now,
need a batshit crazy series every now and again. It's fine
it's great. It's
because
wonderful.
ridiculous is gonna get old quickly.
Yeah. So, where do you want to start here?
So yeah, because we have our final 3 together. I mean, in fairness, I kind of had them all on the same level. I'm not at the point in rating these series to be like this is my definitive 3, 2, 1 placement.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, let's start with Witch Hat only because I think Witch Hat just delivered to a T, kind of what we expected. At least for me. I don't know about
Yeah.
you.
I This would be my number one of the season so
Yeah,
far because I did give this a 9.5 compared to the other two, which are nines.
yeah,
But
I would also probably agree with you that this is a 9. Sorry, that this is my number one for this season so far. Albeit, it's by like the thinnest of hairs between the other
yeah,
two. The only reason why I think this is easy is just because we've both read through the series, and it's just like, yep, art style there, music design there, animation quality. Thank God they took their time. Egg
God,
firm
it's
there,
so good.
or
It's
is
so
it
good.
Bug Films? Who's doing it?
I want to say it's Bug Films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank God they took their time and delayed it, and made sure that it was gonna be
Yes, it is Bug
animated to the type of quality that they wanted it to be. So kudos to you guys for taking the L, at least to like delay, but taking the massive W in your first showing. Intro sequence is absolutely superb. I felt lucky because I got the first little sneak peek of it at Anime Japan.
despite the
Um,
fact that I saw it before you, but that's okay. Anyways,
um, but no, I think everything about it just delivered. Um,
yeah.
so no, I
It, it
there's nothing
lived
much to
it
say.
lived up to the hype. It lived up to the hype. That's all there is to say about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched every episode that's out, including today's episode. We are recording Monday, 420 here.
Hey.
Smoke them if you have them. But yeah, I watched episode 4 today, and episode 1 was a 9.5. The rest of the season so far is just absolutely incredible. The animation sequences for specific scenes have been wondrous. I'm so beyond thrilled that this turned out as well as it has because boy were a lot of people fearful, but like I
Yeah.
feel like this is the quickest the overarching anime fans have like been drawn to a show
Mm-hmm.
in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh whether it be for better or for worse, there are some people out there that are being the absolute worst when it comes to the series, but for the most part,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who are already. I've already seen the fan art come out. I've seen just different videos about it of just appreciation.
Yeah.
I'm just so grateful so happy that this adaptation has been as spectacular as it has.
I will
So
make a note too. This is one series where I actually prefer to watch the dub. Um,
I've been watching both. I will watch the subtitled during lunch so I can focus on the episode and everything else, and then I will listen to the dub somewhere later down the line
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's great. But both
Yeah.
are great.
The dubbed is fantastic. So if you're worried about that, don't, because they did a fantastic job.
Agot's voice actress is incredible.
Oh yeah.
She does. I think she's the best out of the bunch in my opinion.
Uh,
But
Also, if you were wondering, my wife and I, when we were watching the first episode, we were like, "Oh my gosh, all their names are so like hard to remember." The pink-haired girl, pink-haired witch.
I
Um,
will look it up because I don't remember either.
Her voice actor is Shampoo from Ranma One Half. We clocked it. I
Yes.
clocked it instantaneously because we both looked at each other like, I recognize that voice, and I was like, give me a second, Shampoo. And she's like, oh my God, you're right. And I was like, yep, yeah, it's Shampoo. But no, the cast is wonderful. So that's a big plus as well for Witch Hat. So,
It's
um,
either Tita or
whom I'm 99% confident it's Shampoo though. When I heard it, I was like, that's such an iconic voice. Um,
Yeah.
All right, next
Anyways,
one. Let's do Daemons of the Shadow
okay.
Realm. Another 9 for me. Like I said, expected nothing less from the creator of Full Metal Alchemist. Exceptional action, wonderful character designs, and an intriguing premise. Plenty of plot twists and turns throughout episode 1, which impressed me, and certainly can't wait for more. I think this is like, I feel bad because I bet a lot of people are going in being like, this isn't Full Metal Alchemist. Brr, brr, what? I wanted something more. I wanted more Full Metal. It's like, no, man, you're not gonna get more Full Metal Alchemist. Calm down. This is
If you
this is
want
a
more, just go watch it
yeah, just
again.
go rewatch it. I'm sorry. Like know that creators actually write other stuff. Oh, shocking. Um, but you can definitely tell that it's from the same creator because there's like a certain like
It's a unique art style. It's
not even
such
the
a unique art
not even
style.
the art style. Again, like there's the it's really like once you start reading or watching series from the same creator, you can kind of pick up on like their particular thumbprint, like that like identity piece to it. Not just like stylistic to the characters, but like how the story's written, how like characters are shown. Like there's little like bits and pieces to it, and like this is clearly like you're like, oh yeah, this is from the same creator because Fullmetal Alchemist starts off and we're just like in a conflict with some random like deacon person in the desert, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? And this is kind of the same way. You're like, all right, in a village, don't really understand what time period is. Sounds like we're in today's time period because they're referring to dragons, and that certainly sounds like an airplane. And then, oh, lo and behold, twist, boom,
We
guns,
are
guns of fire and grenades exploding. You're like, whoa, I thought we were in an olden time, but no. And then like it's like who's on whose side,
gobble.
and whoa, gobble. That was such a cool scene. Like
That was
all of
wild.
those bits and pieces, I'm like, yes, this is I love it. This is exactly what I want and more. So no, wonderful first episode. This is certainly a definitive full watch, no matter what.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say about it, so I'll just leave it at that.
All right, then I will
Um,
let you talk about the last series for today.
Boy, fucking howdy. Our last series, which is a close second to me. I did give it a 9 rather than a 9.5, but this is number 2 on my list of
Yeah.
the season. Akane Banashi.
Real quick before you get started,
Fuck.
Frankfurter, where might I watch Akane Banashi?
I'm glad you asked. Jesus Christ. It is on YouTube. So Netflix holds the right to this series.
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, it is not on Netflix, and
Uh-huh.
the official Akane Banashi account is putting it on there until Netflix does,
It's
or maybe
so
they'll have the full season on there. I'm not entirely sure
quick.
what the hell is going on here.
Sorry, I'm gonna call a quick timeout too. Just something random. So there was another series that I had watched. I don't think you did. It was I'll Never Fall in Love with You Unless.
Unless,
Yeah, unless. That was also on YouTube. I cannot describe to you how much that series was advertised at Anime Japan. Oh my god, it was everywhere. Like legit. They
what
had a
was Akane Banashi?
no, I'll never be your lover unless. Like they had its own booth. There were big billboards of it in multiple spaces. They had giant acrylics of the characters that they were selling. Like the merch and advertising for it was astounding. And I'm like, this is so embarrassing that we had to watch this on YouTube and barely any people watched it here because it was on YouTube. I'm like the
Yeah.
disparity between how the series are advertised and like marketed in Japan versus here is grotesque. And I'm so fearful that Akane Banashi, even though it has a loyal following for its manga, I fear that people are gonna like fall off if it doesn't quickly get over to Netflix because I don't know if you saw the view count for the first episode. It's like maybe 70,000 on YouTube. It's not great. It's
Um.
pretty low
So
for a top tier series.
apparently it is going to Netflix in May, and it is
Fuck
due to
you.
purely dubbing purposes. They want to take the time to make sure that the dub is correctly done because they'll have the subtitle and dub all in one. But yeah, apparently it is due to dubbing. It'll come in May. They'll release the first 2 episodes, and then it'll be a weekly
Well,
release
at least let me
from there on
take
out.
May out to dinner first. Jesus.
Yeah, so it'll come out in Netflix eventually, but yeah, for whatever reason, this is on YouTube. You can watch it. It's an absolutely wonderful show. This is one of my. This probably is actually my favorite Shonen Jump series.
Oh, without a
I
doubt.
would say closely behind it would be Ichi the Witch, but this has been number one for a while in my book.
Currently,
But yeah,
currently like serialized. We'll make that
yes,
clarification.
currently ongoing series. It is what I'm talking about, but episode 1, I got exactly what I wanted from it. We had spectacular, you know, voice acting, which is absolutely
Key.
critical,
Yes.
critical to this show.
Yes.
Spectacular voice acting, really good visuals, and just a fun vibe until like the very end where we have like the catalyst of where our story begins,
Yep.
essentially. I adored everything about episode 1. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I still need to watch episode 3, which is on, again, everything is on YouTube for whatever fucking reason.
Yep.
But I digress. Yeah, this show is an absolute blast. I
So
fucking love it.
similar to our fears with Witchat Atelier in the art style, because the manga is so detailed, I had a very similar fear with Akane Banashi in that, like, how do you make Rakugo really entertaining? Like, you like the creative ability in manga form is still some, is limited, obviously, but it is so engrossing, even though it's just a series about storytelling, like traditional Japanese storytelling. So I'm like, it needs the anime needs to highlight this. They need to emphasize this when it's shown, and they did it really, really well for episode 1. I was very impressed. The different stylistic choices they used to like display how the audience was like watching the event, and then like obviously there was the exaggerated moments that added more detail to everything too, perfectly exemplified like what the storytelling capabilities of Rakugo is like, and then
Yep.
obviously highlighted it much more in in the manga as well. So no, this is perfect. I'm just absolutely infuriated that it's on YouTube, because I again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like first episode for the subtitle has 67,000 views. Second
Yeah.
episode has 28,000 views, and that came out 9 days ago. And the third episode, which came out 2 days ago, has a whopping 16,000 views. This is for a like S tier Shonen Jump series.
It is constantly within the top 7 week in, week out. Like in the Shonen Jump rankings.
Yeah, I just it's fine. It's whatever. I'm not in that area, obviously. I'm not involved with the distribution and the production and all that, but my god,
Yeah.
we need to get a handle on this. That is losing words,
Yeah.
brain slowing.
No, you're fine. I get it. I'm on the same page. It frustrates me to no end
Shake my
because of
fist
the
like an
fact
old
of
man.
like,
Arr.
get off my lawn, put it on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, just do something with it. Put it on a platform that's actually going to promote it. YouTube, it's just going to be drowned out with the masses.
Yep.
Like, you're never going to find it. The fact that I was like, when is this show
Mo-
coming out? And had to go to livechart.me
to
and look at their stream tab for this show and be like, it's on YouTube?
And you know what's funny
Baffled me.
too? I bet, because I was kind of one of those people too. I bet a lot of people look at it and go, "Was this like pirated and uploaded to like a fake account that's called Akane Banashi? Like, who's doing this?" Not realizing like, "Oh no, this is just legit. All the only way you can watch it right now is through the official Akane Banashi YouTube page." But whatever.
Yeah, and like I clamored about how good this show was to friends beforehand, and like I had friends be like, "Hey, where can I watch this show?" And I was like, legitimately, here's the link to it.
Yeah.
Here's episode 1. Go
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's
But
baffling,
regardless,
but
it's still in the top 3. I imagine this will be
oh, absolutely.
it's as much as I've harped on a lot of the different series and had like high hopes that series are going to like, pick up and be higher ranked at the end of the season. It's really hard for me to look at this list right now and just not already put my stamp on the last 3 we talked about as being the top 3 for spring. I don't see
It's really difficult.
I don't see how Witch Hat moves for me. I don't see how Daemon's move for me, and I do not see how Akane Banashi moves for me.
Like the only thing I can think of is if Dr. Stone has a wonderful series finale, that might be able to like squeeze in there.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really don't know what could dethrone those 2 shows. Like even with Story of Wand and Sword, I watched episode 2 today.
Mhm.
at lunch, and like there were some quality issues that I'm like, hey guys, what's going
Uh-oh.
on here? This is like a big major arc and fight scene arc. Like, what's
Uh-oh.
going on with this? So I'm just like, we'll see. But like, yeah, I really like. I don't want to say that those are going to be the top three, but I feel like those are going to be the top three. Like, there might be a case for a couple shows, but
Yeah, I mean, you can put it a
mm,
case for like for me it'd be like ReZero, maybe, right?
yeah,
Um I
your
don't
returning shows basically.
yeah,
That's about it.
yeah. I mean, certainly I don't think any of the romance ones that I harped on are gonna be up there, but
Yeah,
I'm not upset, but at the same time it's like, whew, this is a top
top heavy.
heavy, yes, top heavy season for sure.
And speaking of top heavy, this has been a very top heavy episode in terms of runtime. Thank you all for joining us this week. We greatly appreciate it. We know that your time is very valuable. So if you got this far, thank you very much for listening. I know that this has been 2 weeks in a row that have been very long episodes.
Yeah,
So
we'll get back into the swing
thank
of things. Don't worry.
we'll get back into the swing of things. But again, we greatly appreciate you for sticking around. If you want more of us, please go follow us on social medias at Bakacopodcast, wherever you get your social media feed. But until next time, Bark Triumph. We'll see you then.